Welcome back to today's economic news, where we dissect the latest political and economic developments shaping our world. I'm your host, John, and today we have a concerning story of a Democratic Senate candidate in the hot seat over some inflammatory remarks directed at conservative Supreme Court justices. You won't want to miss this breakdown because it untangles how political rhetoric can spiral out of control and potentially put our very liberties at risk. Now let's dig deeper into why this matters. It seems we are living in an age where political conversation has degraded into a shouting match, where even the judiciary, a cornerstone of our democracy, is not safe from verbal assault. Imagine if you planned your family discussions like some of these speeches. Instead of sitting down for a reasonable chat about the budget, you'd be flipping chairs over because you're mad about losing Monopoly. This is what we're dealing with today, and it's imperative to understand the gravity and danger of these exchanges. Before we move into today's incident, let's wind the clock back a little. Remember back in 2020 when the political climate took a turn for the turbulent after Justice Amy Coney Barrett was confirmed to the Supreme Court? It was a moment that fueled fiery debates on critical issues like abortion rights and gun control, leading to a surge in divisive language. That's when Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, stood at a rally and warned that justices would pay the price for their decisions. Fast forward to today, and we're harvesting the bitter fruits of seeds planted long back, whereby political leaders feel they can push boundaries and incite through their words. So out comes Mallory M.C. Morrow, Michigan's Democratic candidate for the U.S. Senate, and here she is caught up in a whirlwind due to comments made during a Huron Valley Indivisible event on November 12th. M.C. Morrow's language was loaded and resonant, painting a picture where opposition to the judiciary is drastic. In a world where language is a currency of communication, you'd think she'd handle this fiscal responsibility with care. Yet phrases equating MAGA to Nazi and the cryptic code 8647, interpreted by some as a suggestion of violence, suggest a stark departure from civility. But what does this tell us in practical terms? It's like being given a verbal assault on a silver platter. The coded language and symbolic gestures at events such as the John the 500 Dingle Unity Dinner don't merely echo frustration but dangerously flirt with the line of incitement. When politicians fail to manage these lines, it calls into question their competency to represent the people. M.C. Morrow even made direct comments with unsettling implications. I would not have been able to control myself. That would be bad. There would be beers thrown in people's faces. And what about another where the apparent endorsement of violence forms part of a growing narrative and alarming trend that Democrats are openly flirting with the idea of violence towards justices who've either upset or disappointed them? Do they genuinely believe this is what democracy should look like? And right now, we face a political atmosphere ripe with contention. On one side, proponents argue M.C. Morrow's words are an embodiment of justified frustration with a politically biased judiciary, a battle cry for democratic values. On the other hand, cooler heads caution that such rhetoric doesn't advance civil discourse, but rather risks boiling over into actual violence, setting a dangerous precedent for future conduct. From my libertarian corner, allow me to suggest that these eruptive outbursts are symptomatic of a more troubling condition. A government that can't take criticism with grace but instead fans the flames of discontent. It's reflective of a broader governmental trend where actions continuously incite instability and inflate uncertainties. Consider not only how these outbursts erode trust, but also how they signal governmental inadequacy. What hope does a democracy possess if its stewards lean towards hostility rather than harmony? Liberty is slipping through our fingers, not through outright authoritarian decrees, but through a chilling effect where citizens fear speaking out. The behavior on public display threatens the very principles we champion, as each impassioned outburst chips away at public confidence in governance, gradually leading individuals to feel that their voice might just invite undue attention or retribution. As we wrap up, the crux is clear. Toxic rhetoric undermines democracy and the bedrock principles it stands upon. The careless allowance of threats against judges isn't just a slip of the tongue. It's a harbinger of turmoil. If you're tired of bearing the weight of their mistakes and wish to shield our freedoms against such misuse, hit that subscribe button today. Thank you for tuning into today's economic news. I'm John signing off. Till next time.